Tom Leach is our guest. Rich Tradition.
Rich Tradition.
TomLeach.com?
TomLeachKY.com.
KY.com. Go buy a book, folks. He's got to earn his trip here.
That's right.
He wants to pay for the gas or something. Let's talk about basketball. Of course, nothing like, I've been around this a long time, and this is an unbelievable atmosphere. Again, statewide, nationally.
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable what Calipari has brought to the table.
I told him this summer that I said I had the good fortune of following the guy who followed the legend.
Right.
I said, you are conversely in the position of following Billy, who it didn't work out very well for.
Yeah, it was.
So, it's
you got an easy sailing there.
It's a good spot to be in. So, like you were saying earlier, there's an element of luck or timing that's involved along with skill, and he's certainly got the skill part down, whether it comes to PR or coaching. And he has just been exactly what this program needed. People that had just, as he said, just seemed kind of sad for a few years. Their program wasn't where they were used to having it.
Lackadaisical.
And they also, Billy just didn't really connect with what Kentucky's all about, the way the people feel about the program.
Sure.
And they need to connect with the coach and the people involved in the program. And Cal definitely gets that.
We laugh around here about the fact if you follow Cal on Facebook or Twitter, you need extra bandwidth. Because all day long there's something floating on your, he's probably got one guy that just follows him around and puts the stuff in. But tomorrow night, of course, is the blue-white game. We'll start finding out some things about what's going to happen. I mean, preseason top 3, I think, in most polls.
Yeah, AP has not come out yet, nor the coaches poll, but they probably will be certainly top 10, if not higher.
But, what do you see? I mean, you're kind of up there and hanging around, and, I know there's a huge amount of talent.
Yeah, they're tremendously talented. What Cal has talked about is the challenge of meshing half the team that's new and half the team that's returning. And the returning guys, some of them are not going to play nearly as prominent a role as they did in the past, and that can make for a difficult situation to manage. What the biggest asset he has is Patrick Patterson.
Absolutely.
Certainly the best or no worse than second best player on the team, he or John Wall, and he commands everybody's respect on the team. So that's a very big asset for Coach Cal to have in terms of getting everybody to come together. It looks like a group that you don't see any at this point any prima donna attitudes.
Right.
So all of that looks good. I think it's going to be interesting to see him in the blue-white game. It's a more extended look than you saw at Madness, and you get maybe a feel for how they play off each other, how they share the ball. And as he has said, they're going to be bumps in the road as they're learning a new system and learning each other. I think it's going to be a team that really ought to hit its best stride in the second half of the year, maybe the last third.
No prima donna, but I loved Wall's attitude at blue-white. Or Big Blue Madness, when they put the light on him and he started the little dance up there, and you could just tell here's a confident, not a cocky necessarily, but a very confident player. Of course, he's already been named Player of the Year, I think, CBS Sports, so pretty good there. All right, let's go back to games. You got any games that really stand out? Probably the same ones that stand out for the fans. But
right, in football, the biggest one probably is the night they upset LSU. Hadn't beaten a number 1 team in more than 40 years, and it's a 3 overtime game that ends on a dramatic tackle. So that's a great finish for a broadcaster. So that's
and I told you before we came on the air, victory Kentucky. The 2 words you said at the end of that game, which I can watch the replay of that with your voice on it all day long.
And the other game that year was the Louisville game, and they had the big pass to Stevie Johnson. And anytime I hear anybody have a play on their ringtone, it's that one.
Really?
It's I think it's because it beat Louisville that has a special place. But for me, it's the one against LSU that's the most memorable. And then in basketball, I tell people it's odd. You're the Kentucky announcer and you've been to 5 bowl games and no Final Fours. So I'm hoping that's going to change here real soon. Hopefully as early as next April. But for basketball, the one game that stands out is actually my first year when Tayshaun Prince hit the 5 straight threes to open the game against North Carolina, and just the crescendo of noise in Rupp Arena as he hit 1, 2, 3. He hit the 4th one and the place was really rocking, and then they get a steal about 10 seconds later, throw it back to him, and he shoots about a 30, 35-footer and hits it for 5 in a row, and I thought the roof was going to come off the place. The other one was the Patrick Sparks shot down in Austin, Texas. Unfortunately, it didn't win the game. It sent it to overtime, and they ended up losing in double overtime and missing out on the Final Four. So that would have probably been the most memorable game had they been able to pull it out, but certainly that shot was a memorable moment.
Tom Leach is our guest tonight. He's at the UK Alumni Banquet down at the Memorial Building. Starts at 6:30. Go to tomleachky.com, buy a book, Rich Traditions.
And see the coverage. We do coverage of the Cats every day. A lot of interviews like today after practice. Coach Brooks always talks to the media. It's kind of like the White House daily press briefing. And that's up there most days, as well as other interviews throughout the week. Today he talked about the fact that he was definitive. I guess it kind of seemed like it was getting on his nerves, this talk about black jerseys for the Mississippi State game. And he said, folks, there are not going to be any black jerseys.
Who started all that?
Well, because of the marketing department has pitched this blackout. It's Halloween night. Everybody wear black. It's a neat kind of deal. The whole place will have a uniform look if they can pull that off. That would be neat to see on television. And because of that, a lot of people took the leap to, they're going to wear black jerseys that night and bring those out as a surprise. And it started to grow this week, and on Monday he didn't categorically deny that it was going to happen. So anytime you leave a crack in the door, people push it in, and so today he made sure to close the door, lock it tight.
Yeah, okay, that's Rich Brooks, folks. Hey, listen, hope you have a good night tonight. I said this is left over from our Cat Call show, and we normally it's on the floor over here. Somebody's been playing with this, Tom, and I can't get it to do what it's supposed to do. There we go. Tom Leach, our guest. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. Don't run off.